Hey guys, what's going on? I want to spell this out a little bit better because I realize a lot of you aren't very smart. There's basically three variables any sports car has that make it faster than any other car. How fast it accelerates, how fast it goes around a turn, and how fast it brakes. So out of the 30 fucking Corvette YouTubers out there, all they can do is test how fast it accelerates. They don't test the other two variables, how fast does it go around a turn and how fast does it brake. And for those of you who say, that's what lap times are for, that's what lap times are for, you are so fucking ignorant, aren't you, maggots? Do you know that as General Motors vehicles get hot and Chrysler vehicles get hot, Dodge and Ford vehicles get hot, they close down throttle body? Why does that matter? Because it means that the non-Z51 doesn't make full power once you're already halfway around any given lap. It starts to pull power when you take it to the racetrack and start to get it hot. But as far as street driving is concerned, the non-Z51 is just as fast, if not faster, than the regular Z51. And when you go around a turn, it's definitely faster once they're on apples to apples tires. Why does this matter? I'll tell you why it matters to me. I'm aware the rest of you don't have the IQ to care because you're a bunch of fucking posers who get on the internet. Hey, I'm going to go talk to all the other guys, honey, about what a badass I am with my fast car because a fast car makes me a fast driver. Yeah. You guys are trash. I'll give you a simple example of when it dawned on me. When I was in high school, I already understood this. I used to study road and track, lateral G readings, and there were cars like the Murcielago and the Z06, right? And the Z06 could actually pull more lateral Gs than the Murcielago. They were like neck and neck. And why does that matter? Well, because one day I was racing a Murcielago, pulled up next to one, a bright orange one. A guy by the name of Greg Nelson was in it. He owned Midwest Lamborghini in Marysville, Ohio. So what I knew in the back of my mind, no matter how fast he goes around a turn, I hypothetically should be able to keep pace. There's never a point where his car will make it around the turn and mine won't. And we proceeded to race at ridiculous speeds on a windy road. And it was 2 lanes on each side, so a total of 4 lanes. And we were neck and neck, side by side the entire time. Now, had I have read in Road and Track that the OEM Z06, because that's what I had I read in Road and Track that the OEM 2001 Z06 could only pull 0.98 lateral G and the Lamborghini could pull 1.01, I would be more hesitant to try to follow him through a curve on the assumption that he's actually getting the 1.1 out of the car. Now that's the other thing. Does the guy actually know how to get the 1.1 out of the car? But let's say you're racing Max Verstappen. And let's say that both cars pull the same amount of lateral Gs. Hypothetically, you should be able to follow Max Verstappen around the turn and not wreck. So lateral Gs are a very important thing to understand if you like to stay alive. It's very important that if you're out driving around, hot dogging, and you want to dial in your G meter in your stomach, you either have the G meter displayed on your dashboard and or you record with your PDR and you pull over and you take breaks and you watch the video and you say, okay, when I was going about 80 miles per hour on that turn back there, I'm only pulling 0.9 lateral G. So that means I could probably go about 83. Let's do it again. Then you do it again, you're around 83, 85, you look at the video again, oh, there I'm at 1.1, I'm not trying to get to 1.2, I'm not trying to prove Road and Track wrong, I'm not as fucking crazy as Brandon, I don't need to pull 1.2, and you're happy. Not one fucking YouTuber tests the braking of the different C8 models relative to each other, not one fucking YouTuber tests the lateral Gs of the C8s relative to each other, especially on a long sweeping turn. The longer and higher speed the turn, the more and more the non-Z51 is going to shine. That car is fucking amazing. Why don't you get one then, Brandon, if you like it so much? I had one. I put a bunch of miles on it. I had to trade it in to get my first C8 Z06 because the banks are being weird. They wouldn't finance me on the 2 cars at the same time. And I said, no problem. I'll teach you motherfuckers a lesson. So I went out and financed 3 Z06s simultaneously and held on to 3 C8 Z06s for 6 months just to teach the banks a lesson. And I'm not going to get into the details of that, but they're not going to decline me on a car loan again. We'll just put it that way. Okay, I can make my fucking payment. So the point is, I had to trade it in to get the Z06, which I did. It was a great car. I kept the wheels and tires. I had custom wheels made for it, C7 Z06 size wheels with the C8 lug pattern and offsets to fit underneath the C8. It was like a sleeper. You didn't know I had them. You didn't know I had Z06 with tires on it, but it did. And the car was fucking amazing. Amazing fast. Amazing predictable. Why don't you get another one of those then? Because what I've been doing is I've been waiting for GM to either create the ZR1 that they've convinced you all is coming, or reveal the fucking Grand Sport. Or reveal the all-wheel drive C8 and see if maybe Aaron Link and these guys dial back the eDiff program finally so that we can actually go around a turn fast. The car at high speed could go around a turn quick so they can actually set a good ring time. So I'm waiting to see what I'm going to do next. I'm not just going to sell this one. It's a lemon. It's going back to GM. I'm waiting for another car to show up. And once the other car shows up, I'll get it and the non-Z51 at the exact same time. Or excuse me, yeah. The ZR1 and the non-Z51 or a Grand Sport, if they put a mechanical diff on the Grand Sport, then I'll get a Grand Sport. I don't need to get the non-Z51. Wouldn't that be a fucking miracle? I doubt they're going to. It's my guess that if General Motors releases a manual Grand Sport, it's still going to have a fucking eDiff in it. That's how fucked up General Motors is. That's how ass backwards General Motors is. Porsche, you have to get a manual to get the mechanical diff. General Motors is probably going to sell you a fucking manual with an eDiff in it. The fucking people who work at General Motors are so fucking stupid. They don't even know what makes the manual Porsche so connected to the road, according to Throttle House. Nor does Throttle House know what makes it so connected to the road. It's the mechanical diff. That's why the C8 non-Z51 feels so connected to the road. It's the mechanical diff. It's not the manual transmission. That's not the variable that's doing it. You want to play with a bunch of fucking retards. Think about it. Nobody can fucking explain this shit. Randy Popes can't explain this shit. Nobody can explain this shit. Not even what's-his-face can explain this shit. Hell yeah, brother. This is Cletus McFarlane, YouTube channel. Do you mind explaining to everybody what kind of diff you run in the fucking cars where you're a drift king? And what kind of cars don't drift? Maybe he does. I don't watch this shit. Maybe he's explained it. The point is, nobody explains this shit. You guys certainly don't get it, so I doubt that anybody's explaining it. It's like fucking alien technology to you motherfuckers. It's been out since 2000 and before. It's been out since Ayrton Senna died in the 90s. It's what killed him. Maybe we can have the GM engineers program the eDiff better than the Formula One team for Ayrton Senna, the Marlboro race team. Maybe Williams team. Maybe the General Motors engineers can program an eDiff even better than they could. Have fun in fucking dreamland, maggots. It doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. eDiffs are shits when you go to the limits. They're good when you're at 95%. They're not good when you want to go to 100. When you want to go to 100, they backstab you. Well, maybe we can fix it and be smarter than the most winningest Formula One teams ever. Even Alan Probst knew to retire when he knew that they were getting rid of the suspension upgrades on the Williams cars, because he was best friends with the Formula One boss, and he probably joked with the Formula One boss and said, Ayrton Senna's going to fucking wreck this car because you can't blip the throttle around the turn like you can the M-Diff. This is Ayrton Senna's worst nightmare. If we could somehow coax Ayrton Senna onto this team and then make this car take away its suspension upgrade, Ayrton probably isn't smart enough to know that the eDiff is actually detrimental. He'll think that he still has half the puzzle to a faster car, when in reality now he's in the slower car. The ideal car for Ayrton Senna would have been the suspension, adjustable suspension, and a mechanical diff. That would have been Ayrton Senna's dream car. Ayrton Senna didn't know that. He didn't live long enough to figure that out.
You're wrong, Brandon. You're wrong. You're wrong, Brandon. You're wrong. I'm 4 years old, Brandon. You're wrong. I don't go fast, Brandon, but I know you're wrong. I'm fat as fuck, Brandon, and I know you're wrong. I drink Mountain Dew, Brandon, and I know you're wrong. I don't have any hair on my head, and I know you're wrong, says Conti. I don't even let my son drive the car anymore, but I say I do, and I know you're wrong, says Conti. These guys are trash. They're trash. I don't put 1.2 lateral G at 120 miles per hour because then I'll die. But I know you're wrong.
These guys are trash. It's a big joke, guys. You guys are tuning in to it's a fucking sports car. There's only 3 fucking variables to a sports car: acceleration, going around a turn, and braking. And Justin and Conti and all the rest of the worthless motherfucker YouTubers out there can't even test the last 2. I can accelerate. You guys ready to see me accelerate the car that has all the computer underneath to make it work good? Watch this. I'm a good monkey. Oh, you see that? You see that? I'm so fast. Yeah, dog. Yeah, I'm so fast. Yeah. Shit. Shit maggot fucks. Goodbye, fuck faces.